I feel so blessed today, not just because of the interesting incident at the bus stop at SS2 Pokong earlier, but because thanks to all your kind, generous donations, I was able to make a deposit for my Ayurveda 10-day stay next year. Okay. The only thing was there was supposed to be a patient to be discharged today. And because I'm number 2 on the waiting list because I already paid the deposit, one patient who was number 1 on the waiting list was supposed to be admitted today. But what happened was the patient who was supposed to be discharged was not able to be discharged because needed further treatment. And so the first person on the waiting list will go in once the next patient is discharged, which is on January 4th. That's why I'd run the campaign until January 3rd, thinking I'll be second on the list and then I can be admitted on January 4th. But this person who is number 1 on the waiting list is going to take the January 4th slot. So I have to wait for the next discharge. So the latest I could go in would be on January 7th. Because 10 days later would be January 17th, and I hope to be discharged then because I have a weekend meditation course to go to on the 18th and 18th and 19th, okay? The weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I can't remember, 17 or 18, around that date. So anyway, since if I can't get a date before the 7th, between the 4th and the 7th, then I'll go in after the meditation class on January 20th. Because this month, next month, January 2025, I don't have any hospital appointments at the university hospital. I only have one on February 25th, okay? That's the earliest one I have at UNC Hospital. So I don't want to clash with that because if I have to reschedule University of Malaya Medical Center appointment, the earliest I can get will be another 2 or 3 months' time. So I don't want that to happen. So I keep the university hospital appointments and work around it. So that's one incident. Then there were 2 more incidents. One was as I was after the Ayurveda, I went to my tailor in Sea Park, my Filipino tailor, who actually speak good English and understand what I want, unlike my neighborhood Bangla tailor. It's so difficult to make him understand what I want because I have to speak in Bahasa Pasar to him. And as you know, my Bahasa Malaysia is very berterabur and his is even worse. So it's like, chicken and duck trying to communicate. So anyway, after the tailor, I wanted to go to Maybank, but it was raining very, very strongly. And I just decided to wait until the rain subsides. But before the rain abated, a Myanmar guy who was walking past with an umbrella offered me to go under his umbrella and take me across to Maybank. And of course, I thanked him and said, Chezu Timbale. But I didn't even ask him, whether I could borrow, walk with him under his umbrella. He offered. So that was very gracious and kind. So I feel so blessed about that. And then when I reached Maybank, there was what do you call it? Like an embankment, and it was too high for me to leap across or to step across. And Maybank should make steps there. And then, it was wet, so it was also a bit tricky. And there were steps further away where the car park lot was, but a car had backed up right up, so couldn't access the steps. So I was, like looking around and trying to assess my options, and somebody held out his hand and held my wrist and helped me cross the embankment safely. And if I tried to do it myself, I would definitely have slipped and fell down. So this person, he didn't say a word, so I didn't know whether he was Malaysian or foreigner or what. I mean, I couldn't make out his features to find out, to assess his ethnicity. But again, I felt so blessed that people have been helping me today. But of course, the best one was all the donors who have donated, all of you were so kind. And I don't want to mention names because I don't want to embarrass him, but one person in particular has donated 4 times, which was a record. I keep seeing his name, like almost every week he'll make a donation. And actually, I would encourage people who haven't made a donation, who find our videos on this channel beneficial, helpful, worth sharing, or just messages that deserve a wider audience. I just encourage you to make a donation if you haven't done so. Not fair to keep asking the same people to keep on donating. I'm sure you can spare any amount between 1 ringgit and 5% of your monthly income. Don't donate more than 5% of your monthly income, because that may cause financial burden for you. I want you to donate some, disposable income that you have. Okay, that the more people who donate, then the less will be burden on each person. So, if every subscriber, we have 18,800 subscribers, donated 25 cents, you would have been, with this fundraising campaign would have closed a long time ago. But since bank cannot transfer cents, the minimum you can transfer is 1 ringgit. So 1 ringgit would be, wonderful if more people can donate. And so I'm not sure when my admission date will be, but I'm second on the waiting list. And the first person is going to go in on January 4th, which was the slot I was expecting to go in, because there was supposed to be someone discharged today. Anyway, the person who was supposed to be admitted today came actually earlier today, but because the patient that was supposed to be discharged couldn't be discharged because needed further treatment, he had to come back on the 4th of January to be admitted. So let's hope I get a nice date that doesn't clash with my weekend meditation course. I can't remember, 17, 18. Anyway, it was a Saturday and Sunday last 2-day meditation course. Meditation has helped me a lot, actually. I feel a lot calmer. I get deeper sleep because, meditation helps relieve anxiety and stress. And I've even stopped biting my fingernails, So all that nervous energy has dissipated. So I've got nice fingernails now. Otherwise, I'd be biting them with all that neurosis. Finger nail biting is a neurosis, if you know psychology or psychiatry. Anyway, thank you all for everything. And for the 2 donors who donated today, thank you. And I hope more people who haven't donated will make a small donation. It doesn't have to be large, I know someone had donated 500 ringgit. That was the biggest. And I terkejut juga, wow. I was so terkilan lah, wow, it's a huge amount, very thankful for that. And many people have donated, 200, 150 ringgit, whatever. I don't want to actually put the name and the amount because I don't want to embarrass you. Because if it's a small amount, I don't want people to comment, this guy so chekai like that. Or if it's a huge amount like 500, and then your family members see, hey, why are you donating to this stranger 500? Why can't you give me or whatever? So I just put the names because I want to recognize your contribution. It's not because I don't want to be transparent, put the name and the amount, but because those sensitivities, I thought I'd be aware of that, and also made a request at the what do you call it, the banking instructions. If you wish to be anonymous, just put the remark anon, and then I will blank out your name. Okay. So if you haven't done it and your name is there, not my fault lah. I didn't know you wanted to be anonymous. You didn't give me any instructions in the remarks regarding that. But if you really want to be anonymous, do what one of the persons who banked in today, go to an ATM machine and put a cash deposit. Then there's no name and nothing. So only God knows you donated. And for many people, that's good enough. As long as God knows, you get pahala. And that's all that matters. Nobody else needs to know. Okay, so it depends on your philosophy of life, so, and your religious upbringing. So anyway, I'm so grateful. I feel so blessed today. Today has been a very special day for me. So thank you all.